If your luck looks like George's did, you're in for a treat. George was a man who had seen better days. He was once full of dreams and ambitions, but life had thrown him more curveballs than he could handle. He often found himself staring out the window, lost in thought, wondering if things would ever change. Let me tell you about Clara, the capybara who brought joy into one man's life. Clara wasn't just any capybara. She had a way of making people feel special. Her gentle eyes and calm demeanor could melt even the coldest of hearts. Once upon a time in a little riverside town, George, a kind soul struggling to find work, spent his days wandering and wondering if luck had forgotten him. The town was picturesque, with its winding river and charming houses, but for George, it felt like a place where dreams went to die. One sunny afternoon, while skipping stones by the river, George met Clara, a big, gentle-eyed capybara, who waddled over and nudged his hand, as if to say hello. George was taken aback at first, but there was something about Clara that made him feel at ease. Amused, George laughed and petted her, feeling an unexpected spark of joy. It was the first time in a long while that he had felt genuinely happy. Clara had a way of making him forget his troubles, even if just for a moment. From then on, Clara appeared whenever George felt down, becoming his cheerful, furry companion. She seemed to have an uncanny ability to sense when he needed her the most. Whether he was sitting by the river or walking through town, Clara was always there, offering her silent support. One day, while strolling through town, Clara nudged George toward a flyer, help wanted at Nature Preserve, looking for caretaker. George had walked past that bulletin board countless times, but he had never noticed the flyer before. It was as if Clara had led him to it. Encouraged by Clara, George applied. He filled out the application with a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in years. For the first time, he felt like he had a chance at something meaningful. The interview was a breeze, and George's genuine love for animals landed him the job. The interviewer was impressed by his passion and sincerity. George couldn't believe his luck. It felt like a dream come true. Overjoyed, George hugged Clara tightly. He couldn't have done it without her. She had given him the courage to take a chance, and it had paid off in ways he could never have imagined. Working at the preserve brought George new purpose and joy, and Clara became a local celebrity. People would come from all over to see the capybara who had changed a man's life. George found fulfillment in his work, and his days were filled with laughter and love. He formed a bond with Angel, the kind director, and their friendship blossomed into something more. Angel was drawn to George's kindness and his love for animals. They spent hours talking and laughing, and it wasn't long before they realized they were meant to be together. With Clara's gentle nudges, they shared riverside picnics, laughter, and dreams. Clara was always there, a silent witness to their growing love. She had brought them together, and they were grateful for her every day. In the end, George marveled at how his life transformed, all thanks to Clara, the capybara who brought him luck, love, and a lifetime of joy. He often reflected on how different his life had been before Clara came into it. She had given him a second chance, and he was determined to make the most of it. And in that little town by the river, folks still tell the tale of Clara, the capybara matchmaker. Clara had become a legend, a symbol of hope and love. People would gather to share stories of how she had touched their lives, and her legacy lived on in the hearts of everyone she had met. Clara continued to be a beloved figure in the community. Children would come to the preserve to feed her, and she would greet them with her gentle eyes and calm presence. She had a way of making everyone feel special, just as she had done for George. George and Angel often took walks by the river, with Clara following close behind. They would watch the sunset and talk about their future, grateful for the capybara who had brought them together. Their love story was a testament to the power of kindness and the magic of unexpected friendships. The town held an annual festival in Clara's honor, celebrating the joy and love she had brought to their lives. It was a time for the community to come together and remember the capybara who had changed everything. Clara was more than just an animal. She was a symbol of hope and happiness. George often found himself reflecting by the river, with Clara sitting beside him. He would smile at her, grateful for the day she had waddled into his life. She had given him more than he could ever repay, and he was determined to honor her by living a life filled with love and kindness. Clara's story was a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected friendships can change our lives in the most profound ways. She had shown George that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of hope. And in that little riverside town, her legacy lived on, a testament to the power of love and the magic of a capybara named Clara.